Stones is not a solid defender. He's a good ball-playing defender, but he's not solid at defending.
Lewandowski, Suarez.
That's a hard one.
Question: Messi, Ronaldo.
Welcome to another episode of the Kickoff KE with me, host Bomba the Ball hapa hivi. Bringing you another episode. Tuko hapa hivi at Casavera Lounge.
Yes sir.
Along Ngong Road. Ya Casavera Lounge along Ngong Road. Na tuko na guest, another United fan. We had an Arsenal fan last time, now we have a United fan. I'll let him introduce himself.
First of all, I'd like to say it's such a pleasure being in this Kickoff KE podcast. It's been a long time coming, Maze. We've been organizing, but it hasn't been working out. So yeah, I go by the name Imran Otieno, sports journalist at Pulse Sports Kenya.
Yes, sir. Lawrence, Kunta, Ten Hag boy. Let's get it.
Yo, I'm Blail, Liverpool fan. Yes sir, won the lot. Come on, let's go.
So it's like akuja na football, but as like content is kosa. So for today, first point ni FFP. Everton have been deducted how many points? 10 points.
That's the second last in the table.
Man, they say we're gonna 4 points. As like, do you think it's fair?
Yes, I mean rules are there to be followed. So if you're cutting by through corners, this is the Premier League. It's the most elite league in Europe as we know it. So if you're cutting through corners, I mean you have to, action has to be taken, and it's really a good look. Yeah.
Omekato 10 points for as like one mistake. It's only one mistake walifanya. Omekato 10 points. Yeah. City tuna expect afanye nini? The City ni 115.
Well, for me, I'd say money buys the best lawyers, and for City they can afford the best lawyers. So if you look at the Kenyan or even the justice system around the world, it's very hard to find a rich man in prison. Still the same applies in Premier League. It's very hard to find these top clubs being found guilty of the profit and sustainability rules, of breaking the profit and sustainability rules, because in the UEFA Champions League, it's called financial fair play rules. In Premier League, it's called profit and sustainability rules. But yeah, if we are to go by Everton's judging, I think, definitely City and Chelsea should be very afraid.
Yeah.
And since they were deducted 10 points for Everton, I mean, they also deserve relegation. And if this is 10 points for... I think they only, because the rules say that you should only make losses of 105 million in 3 seasons, and Everton made losses of I think 124 million. So you see that slight, it's like probably 21 million. And if you look at how much Chelsea and City have been spending, it means even Championship might be lucky for them. They could even go as far as League One. So, but yeah, I don't expect City and Chelsea to be deducted points or to be relegated just because they can afford the best lawyers. We've seen it even in the Champions League. There was a time City finished in the top 4 and United we finished 5th, and we really wanted that spot because we expected them to be knocked out of the Champions League, but it hasn't happened, so I don't see it happening either way.
Chelsea fan, tuambie. Mko kijita rich kid hapa kila siku hapa mnanua kila mtu mediocre players.
Naambia kuwa na pesa si makosa. Kitu cha kwanza sawa. So the other thing, I think for me it's a blessing in disguise for Everton. Emotionally mwambie it's high time Everton on the relegation for them to rethink themselves. I think it's a blessing in disguise for them. Hawezi kuwa na survive kila time bro. Kila time wana survive. But I feel pity for Sean Dyche actually. Alikuwa ameleta Everton to a point they were getting out of your zone. So them going back to, it's definitely they're going to relegation. So I think it's a hurdle for Sean Dyche. So I don't think it's a blessing in disguise also for them.
You don't think they can survive?
They will.
They can't survive.
They will. Bro, kwanza wana face United their next game. Hapo wanaweza tunyorosha bro. Tukona
Old Trafford.
Hatuko we?
Whichever, Goodison Park or Old Trafford. But I don't think Everton should be relegated, as he says, because for me, I feel like Everton is is a club with such a huge heritage in the Premier League.
History.
In the 80s, ilikuwa Liverpool and Everton. That was the those two were the teams that were fighting for the title. Everton also has a huge fan base in the Premier League. They're building a new stadium, which will be good for the Premier League. And Everton has some piece of history. They're the only club that has never been relegated.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
So being relegated for the first time, it's going to be a shocker. But I think back in 94-95, they had 4 points after 12 games, which is their current position. And they're the only team that has survived relegation after getting 4 points from the first 12 games of the season. So I see them replicating that form. They'll probably go in the transfer market in January and buy, but still, I feel like the ruling was a bit harsh on them.
Very harsh.
Because if you look at, they've been docked points for 2021, I think 2021-2022 season. And if you look at their finances during that season, they're building a new stadium. Also, they had an owner, Usmanov, I think, who is Russian, and due to the ban of the Russia and Ukraine war, we saw Abramovich being kicked out of Chelsea, and he was also kicked out of Chelsea. And his company, USM, was also supposed to fund the new stadium, so they have to dig deep into their pockets. So I feel like it was unfair for them to be docked the 10 points.
Pulse Sports editor. Unasikia hizo zote.
But Imran, just to ask, do you think Sean Dyche brilliance being put into test, Sai? Do you think it'll survive with the 4 points that are going to say?
Yeah, definitely. Sean Dyche has been keeping Burnley in the Premier League for a very long time. And when they sacked him is when they actually went into relegation.
Yeah.
And now I think it's Burnley, 4 clubs, Burnley, Southampton, Leicester City, and Leeds that are suing Everton.
Yeah.
Because they're saying we went to relegation and these guys were breaking the rules, so we need compensation. So they're also wanting compensation of around 300 million. But yeah, I think Sean Dyche is a very experienced coach. He sets up his teams defensively. It's very hard to beat them. And on the counter, they're good. I think what has been the problem at Everton is getting goals, but they now have a striker from Udinese. I think it's Beto or something. Probably he'll get goals for them because he needs to help Calvert-Lewin get goals, because as much as he started firing, he's still not the Calvert-Lewin that we knew before. So he needs goals. But yeah, I think he's experienced enough to survive in the Premier League.
What a survive. Imagine tuko match week 11 na Everton wako na 14 points. Hiyo ni huge statement. Na wamekuwa na very big wins as like since the season started. I think they'll make it. Unaona ki drop out.
I feel like they might make it. They have a good chance of making it.
I don't think. On my side, honest opinion, I don't think they'll survive.
Lakini wewe ni hater.
I'm hater.
Wale before January, just like the teams ziko chini ni ziko so shitty. Burnley, companies getting cooked every weekend.
Yeah, all the promoted teams have not really
stepped up,
gotten up and running in the Premier League. And also, for Everton, I feel like this might also act as a confidence booster, because they'll be like, we feel like we were unfairly deducted 10 points, so we have to like go on and look for these points and show them that we didn't deserve to be docked 10 points. I think that also worked for Derby County when Rooney was the manager in the Championship, and they were able to survive. And I think the same will be repeated.
Sasa ndo nasema unaweza pata wametuchapa. Tuko Goodison Park walai. Sunday 7:30.
I mean, they have a thing about,
if they want to
like,
make a statement, I think that game they have to win.
Yeah,
If
I
they're
mean, they
making
made a statement
yeah.
against Chelsea when they were fighting relegation. I think Lampard was the manager back then, and the Richarlison winner. So yeah, I feel like they can deal with the pressure. If they did it once, I feel like they can do it again.
But I feel it's too much. As like hizi zimekuwa a lot on Everton, because see, it's ni 2021 ama ni lini walikuwa wameambiwa no buying players. Juzi tu walikuwa wameambiwa no buying players. So I think vile umesema best lawyers or whatever, having money talks. That's a point.
Money talks,
money talks, but ini too much. Ini too much on Everton no. Juzi tu wako wanaweza kununua players, walikuwa wameambiwa no buying players. Size 10 points. Bro, hiyo notification ilikam hivi kuingia league. Washatolewa azile huko chini. Azile hadi wako ngoja hadi. So sijui kama hiyo appeal itawaka. I don't know. Walisema wana appeal because it's injustice. Maybe wakiuse City as a reference wanaweza 'Cause City ni
They
115.
should.
Sasa City ni big.
I feel like they themselves have like valid reasons for making that loss, because like I said, their owner pulled out because of that Ukraine and Russia war. They're also saying that they sold a player. They didn't name the player. They said player X, who on normal occasions would have gone for around 10 million, but he was sold for free. So that affected their books. Then there's also the issue of COVID. They had to like pay staff, and they weren't getting any revenue. So I think if they get good lawyers, they can be able to successfully appeal that case.
So next point ni Man City. Tunaenda team by team in depth as like tuanzie na top 5 predictions zako.
Nah, let's just go to Man City.
Let's go to Man City, man.
This is crazy.
Tuambie Man City. So what about Man City? What's
Nah, let's just start it off, because the Pep thing. You please take him through the Pep thing too.
Which
I
Pep
need
thing?
to hear his opinion about it.
Pep na Klopp?
No, not Pep na Klopp. It's not about Klopp. It's about Pep and the 115 charges and what he's done so far.
Winning the league, yeah.
With that being considered.
Oh, sasa alikuwa anasema as like he's a Liverpool fan. So in a City so you're saying as like kama kuna 115 charges, so should we say too much about their success? The treble, how many league wins, 5 ni ama ngapi?
Hey.
With all the success that City has been having.
All the success is crazy, considering they only have one Champions League and they were knocked out
They have 5
multiple.
leagues, bro. 5.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
under
like,
Pep,
without going too far, yeah.
So it's like should we as like give them their flowers ama as like because wame cook books.
Being a Manchester United fan, it's hard to talk about City objectively. But yeah, I think if Everton is getting punished, why not City? Why not Chelsea? I mean, they should also get punished. But yeah, I think for City, it's different for Everton and City, because City can buy all those players. Like Man United has spent like probably close to 1.5 billion since Fergie left.
More than City.
But we've never been slapped with those charges, because Man United's revenue, Man United is the biggest club in the world, so they generate they generate a lot of revenue, so they can afford to spend and not be slapped with such decisions. I know City fans have been saying, oh, Man United have spent more than us, but it's only us who's being looked at. It's because for City, they don't, even in England, they don't have a lot of funds. So where are they getting their revenue from? They're getting their revenue from their owner, who's, I think, the Prince of UAE. So it's a state-backed club, just like PSG, just like Newcastle. So it's hard to because now it's a state that is funding them. It's hard to follow the trail of money, because even PSG, if you were to follow keenly, you'll find that they've broken some rules. But it's really hard to trace that trail of money. But yeah, I think they should be slapped heavily, because I think if they're slapped, there is one league title that we take. Finish number 2. Liverpool will also be happy, because there was a time they were really challenging City. And there was a season, these guys actually, they only lost 4 games in a season. And one of those games that they lost was a dead rubber against Inter Milan in the Champions League. So, which means they lost 3 games and still lost the league to City. So, yeah, I think they should be punished, and the league should be given to the rightful owners.
Believe that.
So, but as do you think so? Do predictions zako za Man City na UEFA Premier League?
Nothing will be done. Oh, you're saying
His predictions, opinion yake.
Kwa FFP nothing will be done at all. As cause nilikuwa nasoma article fulani walikuwa nasema long ago Serie A was the big league, but sijui what happened. Ndo kwa maana Premier League imegrow, but as there's money involved. Ndo kwa maana iko the best league. Every team is spending. Newcastle are spending, ndo kwa maana wako hapo. So if wakianza kutoa City, Chelsea, league inaweza isha. We can be heading back to another Serie A moment. No one watches Serie A, especially after Ronaldo left. Lakini ilifanya tu watch ni Ronaldo akatoka
tukakumbuka our parents wanacheki vile siku hizi si watch Premier League our parents used to watch Serie A. Football made in Italy, and Italy during those times they used to attract the best of the best players. Like World Cup winner walikuwa wanachezea Serie A, even Henry as far as 1998 alikuwa achezea Juve.
Yeah.
I mean they attracted the best players. So
Shout out Mariga.
Mariga 2010 mazee, the only Kenyan to win a Champions League.
Bang. Crazy.
So yeah, I don't see if City are to be docked, even if it's City and Chelsea, I don't see Premier League ending its dominance anytime soon. Because
Wakiweza tolewa, wakiweza
no.
Well,
I mean, there are clubs like Newcastle, there are clubs like Aston Villa right now that are really challenging for the top 4. And Premier League is structured in such a way that you find that even if you're relegated, you're number 20, you get like 100 million just from the TV rights. So you'll find clubs stepping up because sahi kuna clubs kama kina Fulham, although they haven't started the season well, they have money. Wolves have money. They can afford
clubs
to
are
buy.
spending now.
They can afford to buy Mateus Cunha for 45 million. If they are relegated, they'll definitely come back. So it's probably 2 or 3 years till they're back, or even 1 year. So
But will that happen? What are they,
in the event that they get relegated.
so it's like, who on tip City is like, aside from the FFP, your predictions the City is like Premier League, UEFA, but are you Carabao?
Yeah,
FA, can they do another treble? Amas like
no. I mean, since 1999, it took how many years? 24 years to get another club to do a treble in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll do another treble. I definitely think they're front runners in the Premier League. Champions League, I don't think so. FA Cup, maybe not, depending on the draws that they get along the way. But yeah, I think they're favorites for Premier League because, City, the first half of the season, they don't do well. But the second half of the season, they can get 15 consecutive wins in the Premier League, and that's what gives them the league title.
Yeah.
And there's also the factor that they don't have Kevin De Bruyne now, and KDB will come back fully rested, fully fit. Probably
He's always not there at the beginning of the season. KDB is always not there.
Even Gundogan.
Yeah.
I mean, Gundogan was always fit, but he never started. But towards the latter stages of the season, that's when they bring out these big guns. And you see, like, for clubs like Liverpool, for clubs like Arsenal, who are probably second or third in terms of challenge for the title, they don't have the depth of squad as City does. So you find that City have the luxury of resting Kina Bernardo Silva, Kina KDB, Kina Gundogan in the previous seasons, and they can now come and fire when they're needed the most and when they have rested. Compared to Arsenal, they had Bukayo Saka and Odegaard tired towards the probably 2 months towards the end of the season.
Last season.
Yeah. So they can't afford to challenge from start to finish, but City have the luxury. So for me, City, as much as I'm a United fan and I hate to say it, and there's no club in the Premier League era that has won 4 consecutive titles, I think City will be the first.
And just to ask, saying that City has won 4 consecutive leagues, which is true, when will we stop saying that City will win the league? When will people stop predicting that City is the one going to win the league? When will they stop? What should Premier League clubs do so that we know that we stop saying, City will win the title, City will win the title?
It's hard. It's hard to like put a finger to whatever should happen in order for City to stop. But I think City's dominance will stop when Pep Guardiola leaves, because I think he's also an ambitious manager. He's been at City, he's won everything. Now he's won the Champions League. He'll want to go into international football, maybe manage Spain one day. So for me, when Pep leaves City, I think they'll struggle because Pep has been there for a very long time. I think since 2016, if I'm not wrong.
17.
And 17. And clubs struggle when a manager has been there for long and he leaves. We had a manager for 26 years, left in 2013. Till now, we've never won the league. So it will take a lot of time before they find an able replacement for Pep Guardiola and someone who will continue their philosophy of winning every single league title.
Oh, makes sense.
Okay, hapo umesema City, Arsenal. Do you think last season they lost the league because I was like players been tired? I think they bottled the league, man. 9 points clear. Hey, bro, hadi hapo mwende hadi mcheze na kina Almiron, mnafahamu jibebe hiyo league bana.
No, you see, Arsenal, the last time they were challenging for the league, seriously was probably Ukoma 2008, 2009. The last time they won it was 2004. So you see, like, these factors really play a huge role in you challenging for the title. Even for City, the Abu Dhabi owners took over in 2009, but it took them till 2013 to win the league, despite them spending a lot. So you also need that pedigree. You need players who've been there and done it and won the league and know what it means to win the league. So yeah, Arsenal last season didn't have experience in terms of players who have won the league, and especially Premier League. They didn't have players who have previously won the Premier League. That's why they went ahead and signed Kina Jesus and Zinchenko, who have won the league. But for them, still, in terms of experience, they still don't have that required experience for them to challenge for the title and make Arsenal title contenders. So yeah, I think their biggest factor in losing the league is that they've never been in that position, so they don't know what it means to win the league, and pressure crept into the players because they had such a young squad. I think they had the youngest squad in the Premier League.
I think they have the second youngest, if not the youngest.
Yeah, last season they had the youngest squad in the Premier League. So with that amount of pressure, and you see Arsenal is also a big club traditionally. Like, even Arsenal fans in Kenya walikuwa wameanza hiyo pressure. Yeah, I think it crept into the players, but this season they've lost one game. They're 1 point, I think, behind City, still challenging. They're not playing good football, which is good for them, because if you're not playing good football but you're 1 point behind City, what if you play now good football? You'll be able to probably even pass City, but I don't see it happening unless they go for a top striker in the January transfer window.
No, kama Tony.
So basically you say
even Tony, question marks about him because he hasn't played for
he's
the
coming
first
back on
half of the
January.
season. Yeah. Not January, I think it's Feb.
In Feb.
Yeah. So he hasn't been playing all this time. There's one thing about playing football and there's another about playing competitive football. So he hasn't played competitive football and he'll definitely struggle. Probably he'll score a couple of goals, but if Arsenal want to challenge for the title, they should go for a striker who will come in and start banging goals as soon as January.
Huyo ndio nani sasa?
Yeah, what's your idea of that striker?
Kama si Tony, huyo nani?
What's the idea of that? Also a striker Arsenal can afford because pia wana pesa.
Awala Tony atatoka
So you guys
800M.
think Nketiah
Consistency. He's good for 2-3 games, goes quiet. But in terms of the profile of a striker Arsenal can sign, Ole Watkins is good.
Better than Tony.
Not better than Tony, but currently is better than Tony because he's on form.
Yeah.
Tony hasn't been playing, so you don't know how he'll get back into play, how his form will be when he's getting back. But Watkins is good. He has Premier League experience. He won't struggle to adapt to the league like other strikers have done. Kina Hoyland Maze haven't scored a Premier League goal.
But amekuwa akifunga champe lakini.
Top scorer.
but on Hoyland though, on Hoyland ukiangalia I wouldn't blame Hoyland for the first time.
Yeah.
Defender Man United player. I wouldn't blame because
He drink iko na nini?
Kaanza kugeuza.
because ukiangalia the wingers you guys have, Marcus Rashford and the other TikTok guy
Anthony.
Hizo type zote, these are guys. It was actually nani alikuwa na Rio Ferdinand. You get those wingers ni wale wase, they don't put in balls in the process. Unapata Hoyland is making actually really good runs, but Anthony anataka kufanya 360, anataka ku step over huko. He's not bringing the balls. Hoyland is actually making good runs, na zile chances anapewa is banging them, the small chances. Rashford has not been good this season. Hakuna kitu amekuwa na do this season. So atuni hizo balls na come from wingers and everyone. Hakuna kufeed. The only person who might feed him ni Bruno Fernandes. And we actually seeing it, but from your wingers hakuna balls na come.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't blame Hoyland.
Ameenda 160 minutes bila kupewa chance. 160
exactly.
minutes.
So no chances
Kucreate
are, no
chance,
chances are being
160
created at United,
160 minutes.
especially from the flanks. Hakuna chances za
Na si ati alimaliza full 90. Hizo ni games kadhaa alicheza.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing bad actually, because he's not like really getting the chances. Not like Haaland. Haaland is getting loads of chances. He has the most chances missed, but he's still some of the top scorer. So you can attest to just how many chances he's getting. And give Hoyland the same chances. I feel like he'll be up there.
them.
Another interesting fact about Man United is Jadon Sancho was the last forward to score at Old Trafford.
Oh, siku ya Fulham. Yeah.
As in, jamaa ameenda akabaniwa hata sahi akuli kwa kantini ya Manu, but he's still the last forward to score for Man United at Old Trafford. That's how bad our forward
scoring for Man United at Old
our
Trafford.
midfielders, our defenders,
McTominay, Lindelof.
Maguire, Lindelof, Dalo.
Hey man, it's crazy. It's crazy. We're in the pits. So next point ni Arsenal.
Tell us about Arsenal.
I tell you about Arsenal.
Yeah, tell us about Arsenal.
I don't hate Arsenal. Arsenal fans wapendi kusikia ukweli. Last season nishinda niwaambia wabebi ligi wakata kusikia. Kabisa ile hawataki kusikia hadi na Man City, wani Man City fans sijui nini tutoe hiyo jezi ya Man ya Man City. Ndio nilikuwa nasema tu ukweli. Hata kama hadi wakiwa sijui ni 11 ama 9 points. Nilisema tu wabebi ligi. Pale kwa group chat karibu ndio league. So it's like for Arsenal they're not playing good, sometimes wanacheza vizuri. I can pick my player of the season from Arsenal. That's how much sina any bias. I can take Declan Rice player of the season so far pale tumefika. Amekuwa so dominating. Nikitaka tu Arsenal washindwe, like ako tu hapo, chance ikikuwa like it's just there, but I don't think he's doing his job. I don't think they'll win the league at all, not UEFA. Awiko Carabao, maybe an FA. That's the best they can do, and a top 4 finish.
And FA and a top 4 finish.
Yeah? Yes, wanamaliza top 4. Arsenal, yeah. Hawezi beba ligi walai.
Hawezi beba champion.
I mean, they've never done it before, but hawezi kwa mara ya kwanza.
Champion ya Real, Bayern Munich hapo.
Plus it's been long since they've been in the Champions League, so
wanajienjoy tu. I don't think they wakimaliza number this season.
Arsenal. If they buy a good striker in January, probably number 2. If they don't, number 3 behind Liverpool.
Sikia mkona hadi Liverpool.
Behind Liverpool. Behind Liverpool. That's interesting. Because
I tip for the league.
Yeah, I'm tipping myself for the league.
League is a fast stretch for Liverpool now.
Like this is Liverpool 2.0.
Yeah, I mean,
there's little teams in the land who are stronger than us right now.
City are stronger than you.
Yeah,
they've always been.
but for Liverpool, yeah, I mean, you've overhauled your midfield. That was your I think your biggest problem last season. Because Kina Hendo, Kina Fabinho, I think their legs just got tired.
Thank you. I wouldn't say the hand.
But now you have McAllister, you have Soboslai.
Yeah, we have Endo without the H.
But he's so old. He's so old, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing.
We may prefer Gravenberch to Endo.
Gravenberch is a baller, definitely. But he's more of an attacking player. We needed someone who's just...
Actually, right now, you don't have a DM, proper DM.
Yeah, we don't have a proper DM. But I feel like people always talk about Endo and his age. But we needed someone who will play for the badge. Definitely Fabinho right now, he's better than Endo. But he was kind of... he didn't want to play, he didn't want to run, he didn't want to go for the challenges, throw himself out there. And Endo is that type of person. He's a warrior, he's Japanese, he'll play for the badge. That's the type of person we want.
And in the market right now, which CDM do you think you guys should sign?
I liked Nunes, but he went to Mancity and shit.
You also like...
So I like the Brazilian guy,
Paqueta.
No, he's in the Brazilian league right now. It's called. He has a short name. It starts with an A. Anyways.
Yeah. So that's the guy.
There's a good Brazilian guy. Yeah, I thought Nunes too. He was good, but he went to Man City. So those are the defensive midfielders.
Douglas Luiz.
Yeah,
from Villa.
I mean, we need. Is he really that fast though? Because we're playing a high line. We need.
You guys played with Henderson.
Henderson with his back pass.
But I think uko skeptical about Douglas Luiz because nakumbuka wasi kusema mbona Man United wanashinda na Casemiro, so you take Douglas Luiz is performing, but I don't think as like if you'll be that hopeful with Douglas Luiz in your team as like unalala hivi unasema hii ligi tunaweza beba. Si niko na Douglas Luiz.
Tukichukua Calvin Phillips tunaweza.
Uli wa Leeds. Uli wa size.
I think Calvin, issue na Calvin is the pressure that he's having and he's not getting the number of games anafaa apatiwe. For no wonder musema as a player I wouldn't go to Man City. I'm going to improve Pep. I'm not going to improve myself. So that's why I think Calvin Phillips is fair. But if he's put in another team, he'll definitely perform.
A team like Liverpool.
Pressure. Yeah. And Klopp, Klopp, yeah.
Under Klopp, people develop for real.
Silicon Nue Taylor Adams. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
shida ni mdogo.
In terms of sizes.
Yeah, size. But as like akona spirit, akona everything.
Anyways, we'll stay. I think we'll stick to this makeshift defensive midfield for now. Then go back to January, see where it takes us. But if we've managed to be 1 point off the league with this makeshift defense, imagine what we can do in January, with a proper defensive midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Nunes? Darwin.
I don't know what to think about him, because he creates so many chances for himself. He gets into the positions so well. His positioning is just world class, and then at times it all goes to the drain with his finishing, especially easy chances. I mean, come on, he can finish the difficult ones, but the easy ones, it's just something about him. I don't know if it's the confidence. So once he starts, finishing the easy chances, I feel like he'll be world class, and
world class.
Yeah, he'll be
world class.
For real.
Ilikuwa Europa.
Have you seen?
Europa alikata everyone.
Everyone, bro.
Hiyo ni world class hiyo. Imagine Salah is off as like akona an off game.
Salah, but honestly, Salah is pissed about Nunes.
Yeah, he was pissed. But look, I'm starting to gain confidence with him because he keeps on improving. Like Uezi Nini from last season, the Nunes from last season, and right now he's a playmaker for one. He has 7 assists and about 6 goals, and he's been performing for his national team as well. They kicked, they beat the giants of South America, Argentina and Brazil, and Nunes was leading the way in them defeating the giants.
Liverpool boys, basically.
All Liverpool boys, to be specific. So. Yeah, what he's doing in the international scene is kind of motivating. Damn. Yeah, it's motivating, and if he takes that on and just build that confidence, it will be good for us. And he might be a world class, one of the greats of Liverpool.
Jumongelea Liverpool, mnabeba league as like your predictions for the league. Europa.
Europa tunafika finali unless tukutane na Sevilla, tutawapea tu cup yao ili cup yenu.
So in short, Adim Sevilla side is like Europa mnafaa mbebe.
Yeah, I don't see the reason why we shouldn't. Because sahi tunachezesha some team B, tunachezesha Kwanza. Tunatambua Kwanza is a big
alifunga juzi mpaka kataa sijui nini. Kulikuwa na some control.
Alifunga juzi, alienda kwa byline aka-assist. As in, he's so versatile, and tunachezesha our young talents and they are performing as well. So ikifika that stage tuna need the big guns, tutaleta the big guns, and I feel like we might win it. Yeah, for real, we have a big chance of winning it.
What if you get to March? What if the current situation that you are in happens in March? You're 1 point behind City, and you're also in the Europa League. Which one will you prioritize?
Fuck the Europa League. The Europa League, bro. Nachezesa Kwanza hiyo finali, bro. Kinaitwa aje Doak finali. Sisi tunataka ligi. Sitaki Europa. But it's the only trophy that Klopp hasn't won. So yeah, I mean, winning it's not bad.
Kuna ile COVID title ile, si ndio? Handball Uefa. Wins zenyu tu ziko ulisema Carabao mshabeba, si ndio? Like woni any other opposing team?
Yes, yeah.
Woni in the bag.
Carabao is in the bag.
So but you can do a treble bas.
Yeah, we can do
a quadruple. Sikuna FA bado.
FA sijui, but we can do a treble for sure.
Yeah. Umesema tu live.
Kitu yenye labda niko ish ni ligi juu, there are so many good teams, bro. Like come on. Kwanza saa hii compared to last season, you can't like sit down and tell people you're gonna win the league.
Yeah.
Sasa yenye tuko hapa like hii match week bro, ni crazy. Kuna teams poa sana. Sawa, hiyo ligi ndio niko nini, but Europa na Carabao, I say we are winning it. Yeah, for sure. But what do you think about Nunes? This brief.
What do I think about
Nunes?
Nunes? I think he's it's even hard to describe Nunes, but I agree with you. I mean, he gets into good positions, into scoring positions, and for me, if I'm a coach, I'd better have a player who has many scoring opportunities but doesn't score, rather than a player who doesn't get opportunities and scores. Because you see, like in a game, I think the hardest thing is creating chances. And if you're able to get yourself in spaces which you can create chances for yourself, that's a good thing. And I think you guys had Firmino before. Firmino wasn't a good goal scorer. Like, it was hard for him to get to 20 Premier League goals. But what he would do is he would lay the ball to Salah and Mane, and he would also press. And I think in the last game you guys played in the league was?
The last game Firmino played?
No, the last game. Like
Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford.
Oh, yeah,
Brentford is a high pressing team, but Liverpool were able to win comfortably 3-0. And for me, that was because of Firmino, because Firmino presses from the front, and that's what Nunes presses from the front, and that's what Firmino used to do. So even if he doesn't have goals, you always know either Salah or Diaz is gonna score, which is a good thing. But he needs to start scoring those easy chances. He started the season with a bang. I don't know what happened there in between, but if you can score those simple chances, I think for sure he can be able to challenge to be in that category of world class.
Yeah, for sure.
Before to the next topic, Odegaard has been ghosting. Odegaard ameghost juzi. See, as like Bale alienda amecarry team as like Wales for akiona shitty players, sijui Kifamo, sijui nani, akaongezea Daniel James juzi ametoka sijui wapi, but as like Odegaard akona Haaland ana ghost. That's why I wouldn't take Odegaard in my team. Yes, akona fancy gameplay anaweza kufanyia, but all in all is a Madrid reject. Ndio kwa maana ako hapa. Ndio kwa maana is not performing.
Madrid reject is crazy.
No, but for you, Lawrence, I think any hate too, because
don't disrespect.
One about
si Madrid reject. Si alienda Madrid akatoka Arsenal, akaenda Arsenal tena.
I think
that boy had potential for real.
Yeah, but he was signed at 16, man. 16 years old and you're getting into Madrid. There's no way you'll break into the first team.
When Odegaard has been, we were all giving him his flowers. All of a sudden,
Miss Dempe.
Lawrence.
Okay,
exactly
Odegaard
the point.
Fernandes.
I'm a United fan, but I'll take Odegaard.
In terms of
depending on what I mean, if it's the
kama ni fancy nitachukua Odegaard. Lakini mimi nataka chukua hapo tunahitaji one goal hivi. Fernandes atanifungia.
Odegaard. You see, let me tell you why I'll take Odegaard. Fernandes is probably better than KDB in terms of chance creation. Better than KDB. I mean, he's the most creative midfielder in the Premier League. But the problem with Fernandes is he doesn't know moments. As in, Fernandes ni msee mwenye akipata ball ataipeleka long. When there's just a simple pass, he always tries to thread a pass through the eye of the needle, and when that happens, he looks like a world-class midfielder. But when he doesn't, he looks stupid. So for me, you see, Odegaard makes it simple. Let's play, then we'll find a way of breaking this low block. But for Fernandes, it's always try an outfoot that will probably not even get to Anthony. Send Rashford when probably Rashford doesn't even want to make that run. So for me, he doesn't know the moments, and when he knows the moments, I think he'll be the best midfielder.
Yeah, but all in all, Odegaard amekuwa kighost. And these are big games of Chelsea.
Even Fernandes big games, he never shows up.
Yeah,
even Odegaard the same.
But as like it's time as like watu waitikie Odegaard ana ghost.
Yeah,
Fernandes tushaitikia. Mimi hadi tukicheza na Mancity sasa tegemea Odegaard hapa. Sasa tegemea Bruno. Yeah.
But
it's time watu hii conversation ikuwe hard as like
but pia like Arsenal's midfield pia imeenda through an overhaul. Kuna Kai Havertz hapo who I don't know why he's always starting. Maybe akona nudes kuna Declan Rice. So he's still learning how to play with these players. So but when it clicks for him, Odegaard is always a good player. For Norway, Maze, we can't really fault Odegaard because Pierre Haaland doesn't bang in goals as he does for City when he's at
But
Norway.
Haaland akona 27 goals or something.
Yeah, but I mean we expect more from him.
Yeah. Sasa
At
inatoka
Norway.
from nani? Haaland tunajua afungange mabao as like
I mean,
tap in merchants.
okay, Norway. For me, I only know 3 players from Norway.
Same to Wales Bale akibeba.
But Wales have Premier League experienced players.
But ni wale shitty players, wale wa
Ule
Fulham.
Ampadu alikuwa Chelsea.
Sikia.
I mean,
Huyo ndiye ilibidi anywe ndo ajue ball huyo. Kisha alikuwa
Alikuwa na
Wales-
mchezo wa bola.
Wales, as in Pia Wales, when was the last time they qualified for a major tournament apart from Euro 2016?
Unakumbuka juzi Bale akifunga free kick. Hiyo si ilikuwa competition gani hiyo? Nations League ama ilikuwa? Hapana, ilikuwa nini? It's a competition. As like all I'm saying is like Bale amebeba team 3 times akiona shitty players.
But pia kulikuwa na Ramsey kwa hiyo team ya Bale.
Ule wa Arsenal.
Yeah. So
Alafu for Bale is more of an approach.
Yeah,
kucheza hiyo game. So I wouldn't put the blame on Odegaard because I made disappear for Arsenal for 3 or 4 games. You guys are so quick to trash a player, especially United fans.
Sijua mna trash wetu. Mimi wale amkonia Ronaldo huruma. Siwezi onea mtu wote huruma mimi. Mimi
Ronaldo si wote tulikuwa on the side of nini? We
Si
were on the
wengi,
side of
si
Ten Hag.
wengi.
Ten Hag no alikuwa na blunder. We weren't about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is a shitty player and everything.
but how did how was Ten Hag to blame?
How was Ten Hag to blame? I think it was a matter of ego for both of the players, for both of the coach and the player. Because ukiangalia Ten Hag was a matter of dressing room anatakaenda kuena say. Ten Hag is such a kind of a coach. Hata ukiangalia kiwaja, he had young players kina Anthony, kina ule nani? Uboy wa Moho kwa nini? Wa Ajax.
Nani?
Neres, alikuwa kina Neres and everything. But now when you put somebody like Ronaldo in the picture,
Varane.
yeah, now how Ronaldo character yake iko na Ten Hag, I want to say this, utaka bench game for such and such a reason. Ronaldo doesn't want to do that.
But
So,
how is it supposed to be? Isn't it supposed to be the coach with the final say?
I mean, when you have big players, you have to accept you have big players kwa nini. I mean, this is a guy ameshinda more titles even than you.
He's bigger than Ten Hag.
He's bigger
bro.
than Ten Hag, definitely.
he's-
Ronaldo's name
A
is
player
bigger
is
than
never
Ten Hag.
bigger than the manager based
Like-
on success.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
Ronaldo.
The problem was
Ati Ronaldo is not pressing. So alikuwa anasema hivyo.
Ronaldo
Those were
was
lame excuses.
Sasa nani ana press kwa hiyo team? Nani ana press kwa hiyo team? Nani ana press kwa hiyo team? Hakuna.
yeah, kuna, but you see, for Ronaldo, he wasn't like Ronaldo was missing big chances, as in chances that Ronaldo would score any other day, but he was missing them. And another thing, he wasn't pressing. His attitude was wrong. Like when he had a shit game and he was substituted, he threw his hands, went straight down the tunnel. I mean,
Imran, let me ask you. Ukiwa Ronaldo with all the accolades, hizo vitu zote umeshinda. Then you come back to your team ilikubuild, team that made your name.
Ukaibeba
Urudi-
season yako ya kwanza.
Urudi alafu anze
Alibeba.
kuambiwa cheki ka bench umemisi chance naanze kukutoka katikati ya game. You as a coach anze kuonyesha attitude, and the coach that the coach that nurtured me is the biggest coach up. Then you come and tell me katikati ya game toka, then unistatishi other games, then you have an attitude towards me.
I have
Come on.
that's how it's supposed to be.
No.
Kama
Yeah,
Spurs
it's like-
Spurs alikuwa
like-
anaambiwa acheze 2 minutes. Hiyo ni
Two,
madharau
come on.
bana.
To Ronaldo.
Yeah, hiyo ni madharau.
Here's the thing.
Ronaldo wasn't performing in his second season.
Yeah,
He wasn't.
but
So
we have-
why would you justify him playing?
He's
Aya,
Ronaldo.
Has Rashford been
You
performing?
don't play because of
Has
the name.
Rashford been performing this season?
He hasn't been performing
Anthony,
this season.
Bruno hawajakuwa, but daily wanacheza. Mbona ikifika kwa
Daily
Ronaldo
out.
asichezeshwe?
Yeah.
Okay, so who would play in place of Rashford?
Rashford. I mean,
he's not a starter.
Mr. Rashford aketi. Mimi nataka tu Anthony aketi huko. Nikio Mount hiyo wing. Mimi nimeona Mount akicheza wing.
Mount.
Mimi nataka Mount akicheza wing.
Mount is a fraud. Mount ni Havertz mwingine.
Oh, wale uongo, wale Mount tumpe chance.
And I
Mzee
said
atapata-
that Mount sikuwa nataka hiyo sign because nilijua Manu kitu atafanya on Mount. Ona sign
Unaona,
Mount pale.
Eriksen si ameumia. Time
You're
for
a
Mount.
Chelsea
wale.
fan.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Where does Mount play? What is Mount's best position?
CM.
CM.
Yeah.
So and who will he displace at Man United?
Si Bruno.
Aye.
Bruno akiwa na off
Yuka,
games.
yuka,
Asa,
yuka,
si umesema
yuka,
kama ukiwa na off games wako bench.
Ah.
Since the start of the season, Bruno amekuwa na most of games. Tuseme tu kweli.
But it's the whole team. I
Yes.
mean,
Asante
nani
nasema
ameshine Man U this season?
McTominay.
McTominay hata hapo anaanza games hadi hiyo game ya Brentford.
And unasema is like kama Bruno amekuwa akicheza vibaya, eh? Sasa si Mount acheze basi.
At the Imran point,
Yeah.
we've had.
Image in football.
Yeah.
He's the most disciplined, if not the most disciplined. Like, his longevity just shows for it.
But if he was the most disciplined angefanya
Yeah,
interview na
exactly.
Piers
That's where
Morgan.
I'm coming. Yeah, like, you should be professional about it too. Like, I mean, what are you showing the younger players? You're the biggest image, yet you can't be professional about
But
being
hizi
substituted.
stuff zilianza pre-season. Simto yake alidedi, one of the twins died. And there was a family issue. Yeah.
It wasn't a full league.
One of the twins died. Huyo mwingine akabaki hosi after being akiambia watu wa Manui wanakata kumsikiza, wanadhani hataki kucheza pre-season. Pogba mwenyewe alitoka juzi akasema nimecheza na players wengi, Zlatan sijui nani, but Ronaldo 5 utampata pitch, mkitoka unamwacha huko. So ndio nataka kuniambia hata cheza alikata kucheza pre-season, alikuwa na genuine reasons.
So unasema ilikuwa tu like ilifika to boiling point, like it was his last straw. He had to
plus it was a football script. Hiyo walk ya Tottenham ndio ili change football. Sasa kuna Saudi League, ako this close kurudi Uefa. Si Nassr wanakuwa considered kurudi Uefa.
I mean, but if you also looked at, because Ronaldo went there, I've also been saying choose about the game. Ronaldo is performing. Honestly,
he's not finished.
Don't blame the league.
Saudi League and Premier League are worlds apart, man.
But the chances that he's barring there is the same chances that he would get at United, and he wouldn't bar.
Bro.
And United is shit right now.
Exactly. So he looks fast for them near 40-year-old.
Man, I don't think Ronaldo was justified to start. I think Ten Hag was right in displacing Ronaldo, and he was right to treat Ronaldo the way Ronaldo was treated.
So your time only kwa your team ya Ronaldo is the problem. Ten Hag analemewa na big stars.
Big stars.
Not big stars.
Ten Hag has issues too.
You see, kuna watu kama Rashford. Rashford is a big personality. Casemiro is a big personality. He's won probably 3 Champions League titles. 5. Yeah. I mean, kuna a lot of big personalities at Man U, but just because of the respect they give, they're not treated as Varane and Ronaldo were treated. It's because these players went ahead and they erred in the way they handled the situation. Even Varane, that game against Copenhagen, the one we lost a 2-goal cushion, you can see him getting into the game, but he's not even enthusiastic about coming into the game. And his positioning was suspect. The last goal we conceded was down to him. I mean, the clearance, the pass he gave to Rashford, how do you give such a pass when you're in central defense? So there's no way you can justify
my point, I think Ten Hag was the trigger to maybe all the bad performances and everything, because this guy has issues right now. We have kuna rumors akona issues na Varane, akona issues na Sancho. Man, come on, deal with the off-pitch issues kwanza, then come to the pitch.
So all these players are wrong, and Ten Hag
I don't think he's right all of a sudden.
I mean, you see, for Sancho, you need to go to the history of Sancho. Sancho at England, he has issues with Southgate because of his training. At Dortmund, they had issues with him with how he trains. So it's nothing new at Man United. Why is it that when Man United act, it's when now Man United is wrong or Ten Hag is wrong? He's been having these problems, so it's nothing new. So for me, I mean, Man United ilifika a point where even the same can be said about Mourinho. Mourinho is a disciplinarian. Ten Hag is a disciplinarian. Mourinho alikuwa na shida na Pogba. As in Pogba alikuwa anaingia zoezi, anaangalia Mourinho like, what are you still doing in this club? Pogba used to be substituted, anarusha mikono. And you see, that was the culture at Man United. When Fergie left, that discipline kind of eroded at our club. And we needed to bring it back. And Ten Hag is the right guy to bring it back. So for me, how he's handled all these players is right, because the players were in discipline. It's not that players wameonewa that, oh, we sasa we kaa bench. You've been performing, but kaa bench. Oh, we get out of this club because you've been performing. No. They are either in discipline or not performing. So.
Now, how would you justify Ten Hag for the performance that Man United are having right now?
Ten Hag?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to justify Ten Hag because, you see, the problem is this season, or in the summer transfer window, he was given, like, you could see his fingerprints in the signings that he brought, because they were either his former players or he's worked with them before or been in the same league with them. Kina Amrabat, Anthony. There were a number of players who he signed and they've been playing together or were together at Ajax or before. So you can't justify bringing a player and he doesn't perform and you're playing with him. Kina Anthony. I mean, if you sign this player for 100 million, it means you can bring the best out of him. But for me, why I would defend Ten Hag is because Man United as a whole is not like, we probably need 3 transfer windows and a good football director to get back to track. Because you see, like, in our squad, we have a lot of deadwood players, man. Kama Phil Jones left this summer and he's never played I don't know for how long. We have players like Kina
You're also starting Johnny
Anthony
Evans.
Martial, Johnny Evans. I mean, like, these are players who should not even wear the Man United jersey, but they're at Man U. So, and plus he's also had a lot of injuries. Like, I don't think he's played his first choice backline this season. It's either injuries or something of the sort. So,
But
I
I also
with all
think
those injuries, you can make a case.
it's
for
also
Ten Hag.
so lame for Ten Hag to sign players that he has been with before. With the market, with the depth in the market that we have, I think it's so lame for you just to be picking players that you already worked with. It doesn't show your brilliance as a coach. That's so lame for him. I mean, admit it.
Maybe ana pick players on a trust. Me Shong
it's
Trust, come on, no.
It's trust. And also, like, you've seen the system that is at Man United. And if you look at the last, and especially Ten Hag's transfer window, we haven't signed players who are expensive. Probably Anthony. But we haven't signed expensive players. So which means the club really doesn't want to back the manager in terms of expensive signing. So he needs, and we also don't have a good football director. And it makes it hard for sales to happen. It makes it hard for buys to happen. I mean, since Ronaldo left, apart from Di Maria, our most expensive player is Daniel James. Imagine. We sold Henderson. He went to Crystal Palace.
Crystal.
Yeah, he went to Crystal Palace. We sold him for, I don't know, was it 20 million or 19 million? And Mancity sold Trafford to Burnley, who's never played a Premier League game, for 15 million. I mean, how does that even work? We signed Kina Anthony for 100 million. So it means we don't have a good negotiator at the club. And that's what Jim Ratcliffe is working towards when he takes over Man United, the 25%. So with that, I mean, the easiest people you'll convince are people you've worked with. So that's why Ten Hag has been doing that. That's my assumption.
Okay, me my issue with Ten Hag this season imekuwa management yake. As like anafanya decisions zingine tunahitaji subs gani, but as like for the past 2 games nilifurahi as like hizo subs amekuwa akifanya because kuna ile tulipata red card ya Rashford, which was not a red card. Hii game sijui wanataka kuendelea jamaa kwa ni red card.
No.
Yes, si red card.
Hata ile ya Romero, man.
Ile ya
Spurs.
lakini Romero anakonga erratic bana.
Yeah, I mean, that's because of his history, not because of that tackle.
But alikuwa na tackle lingine huko mbele. Ile alikuwa ametackle sijui nani.
Hiyo ilikuwa Udogi.
Ilikuwa Udogi. Ile alimpiga back heel as like akaadi akamchapa hapa nyuma.
The same game?
The same game.
No, that was his first tackle.
Hakupewa yellow, but as like commentators
that was Udogi ndo alitackle, sijui ilikuwa ni nani. I think Sterling or somebody.
Chelsea were lucky in that game. So as like niko na quick fire questions za kukuuliza, yeah? So as like Saka Foden.
Without that's no brainer, maze. Saka any day.
Salah Mane.
Salah.
Grealish Doku.
Maybe.
Doku was just coming this season. Grealish has been there. He struggled the first season at City, but I would go for Grealish.
Kane Aguero.
Kane any day.
Buffon Manuel Neuer.
Manuel Neuer, man. Any day.
Saliba Stones.
Aye.
No brainer, Saliba.
Hey!
Saliba.
Stones is a midfielder hadi.
I mean, you see, that's the problem. I mean, you don't know where to play him. At centre back, can you trust Stones at centre back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you trust Stones at...
Yes.
Pep doesn't trust Stones as anamchezesha right back.
Anamtrust a lot hadi anacheza kila mahali.
See.
The trust is too much.
I mean, Stones is not a solid defender. He's a good ball-playing defender, but he's not solid at defending.
Aya, Lewandowski Suarez.
That's a hard one. I'm a Bayern fan, Atletico Madrid fan, so definitely I hate Suarez. But Suarez, one thing about him, he won the Pichichi, the Golden Boot in La Liga twice when Ronaldo and Messi were there. So that's something. I'd go for Suarez.
Yeah. Ten Hag Arteta.
Boy.
Ten Hag, Arteta. Hey, wow. That's a hard one considering I'm a Man United fan. But definitely Arteta is partly responsible for the revolution at Arsenal. Walikuwa mbaya, but he came in the first season, didn't really work for him, but second season and now he's changed things. So yeah, I'd go for Arteta.
Hazard, Salah.
No brainer. Salah. Any day, anytime.
Bale, Hazard.
It's disrespectful to
Disrespectful.
Bale Hazard. Bale. I mean, Hazard was a player of
Hizi ni maswali ziko hapo. Simi nimeziandika.
Hazard was a player of aesthetics. As in, Hazard ni kama Ronaldinho. I mean,
why I'm
he
asking
doesn't
this-
have stats, but he's pleasing to the eye. Ukimwatch, anakaa poa, he looks like he's doing something, and he has an effect to the team, but his stats, man, that's where I would go for Bale.
Shaw, Chilwell.
Sure, man.
Reece, Trent.
Aye. That's not even a comparison.
Rice, Caicedo.
It depends on my system, but for me, I'd go for Rice.
Salah, Bale.
Salah, Bale. Salah.
Pep, Klopp.
Finally.
Pep, of course. Pep, of course.
The usual question. Messi, Ronaldo.
Being a United fan, definitely I'll go for Ronaldo, and I have reasons to back my decision, so I'll definitely go for Ronaldo.
Yeah. You as an individual, will you rather win the FPL or Manu wins the league?
Win the
Ushinde league FPL, uko number
Fantasy
1.
Premier League. Oh?
Or United washinde league.
I mean, for me, FPL actually looked at my team. Nilikuwa na Estupiñán. Nilikuwa na... I mean,
Rudi kucheza.
that's how bad I am at FPL. I didn't change my team for a very long time.
But ukiambi ushinde FPL, upate zile vitu zote.
Man United win the league.
Uh-huh.
FPL means nothing to me. At least I can sit on this Liverpool and Chelsea this discussion. But FPL, I mean, it's just individual glory.
Start bench sale. Ken, Lewandowski, Suarez. Lewandowski, Suarez.
I'd start Suarez at his prime, bench Kane, and sell Lewandowski. Although I'm a Bayern fan and I've seen Lewandowski do wonders. I mean, he scored 5 goals in 13 minutes after coming on as a sub, and he's been winning that Golden Boot in Bundesliga. But I mean, he's struggled at Barcelona, which is a far higher league than Bundesliga. So that's my reason for selling.
Salah, Bale, Hazard.
Salah, Bale, Hazard. I feel like they're in order.
Oh, now knows Hazard.
Yeah, no. Hazard
Unajua mbona Hazard aliretire hivi, watu wakaanza accolades za Hazard. It was like watu wakaanza hadi kutoa stats ziko chini ya maji, watu wanaanza kusema mbona mkumbuki hizi, mbona mkumbuki these and these.
Exactly.
That's like aliretire hivi, watu wakaanza kukumbuka all the great things amefanya for the league.
I mean,
Eden.
you see Hazard, you see Chelsea, by the way, let me tell you one thing about Chelsea. Chelsea have never had a prolific striker apart from Drogba in like since
Costa.
Yeah, probably Costa. But Costa equal longevity. Ilikuwa season moja mbili. But since Roman took over, you could make a case for Drogba. But all along, your top scorers have always been midfielders. Lampard, Nini. And for me, I expected Hazard to take over the mantle from Hazard. Afunge mabao. But still, he wasn't scoring the goals. I mean, he would chip in with assists and a few goals, but he wasn't really like a prolific player in front of goal. In terms of creativeness, in terms of flair, he was probably among the best, but his stats don't
But
really back him.
why Chelsea fans, we love Hazard? Whenever we needed him, Hazard will turn up.
Yeah, in the big games,
he would turn
especially against Arsenal, he would turn up. But no, I don't think he would even rank among the top 5 best Premier League players. Best midfielders.
Best midfielders?
I know, never.
Wow.
So
Even top 10, he would struggle to break. Even top 10. Even top 10, he would struggle.
Like, for instance, Salah is a few goals away from reaching
150.
top 20.
Top 20.
Yeah, in the Premier League. Like, you can, like, it's crazy, man. Like, he's one of the best. He's the best Premier League winger for me in history, in the history of the Premier League.
So as we wrapped up, tuambie points I said like sinishaitikia but
Umetupilia hiyo point mbali. Umetupilia point yangu.
Mazee kuna Ryan Giggs bana.
Wingers. Anyways.
as we wrap it up, tuambie thoughts zako za Chelsea, Spurs, yeah. And Al Nassr going to UEFA.
Okay, I'll start with that order. Chelsea, I think they are an entertaining side. I mean, if you look at the game against Spurs, in the same week they played City and it was entertaining. They're entertaining, but they're a bunch of kids who need experience. They have Thiago Silva at the back who's experienced, but that's still, it's not enough. I mean, for me, I would have loved if Chelsea would have kept Kovacic. And Kovacic would have guided Kina Enzo and Caicedo.
Yeah. Facts.
I mean, they should have kept Kovacic. So for me, it's the experience that lacks. But what they lack in experience, they make in a good manager. I mean, Pochettino is always known to work well with kids. You see what he did with Kina Hurricane, Dele Alli, Son. And he, like, aliuza Master, aliuza Kina Kyle Walker, and akaleta my youngster. So he knows how to work with kids. But they have a really huge squad. I think they need to trim down on their squad.
Yeah.
There was a story at their players used to change in the corridors of the dressing room. Joako Wengi. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Chelsea. Next was Spurs.
Next ilikuwa Spurs. Do you think Ange anafaa change management yake? Hatuwezi kuwa ati uko na 9 men unacheza high line. Wolves uko na 1-0 unacheza high line.
That's how we play.
That's how he plays. If he goes down 5, he'll still get a crack.
For you,
still have a crack, mate.
there's a common phrase that says, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
But it's broken. In the Premier itawaka walai.
It's not. I mean, you see, it's hard. It's hard for you to constantly week in, week out drill your players to attack and keep a high line. Then just because of a situation, you change your style and defend. Your players will be confused.
But 6 minutes.
Ule manager wenu anaitwa Jolo Gegenpress.
Ragnick.
Yeah,
Tumekuwa na wengi.
Before huyo after huyo ilikuwa nani? Stenag. Okay, Ragnick si alikuwa sulu nakumbuka ukisema hiyo point alikuwa anajaribu different things every match and akiwa under pressure, and that's not how to go, man. At least he knows his thing and he's going for it, and they almost got a goal, bro. It was ruled off.
Nasema as like 1-0 against Wolves, 6 minutes. Defend to peke. Defend, bro. Defend. Bro, hizo bauzi. Kwanza vile waleka 1-1.
But what's the best?
Kuna sio waliekeza hadi Wolves kushinda.
What's the best form of defense?
Attack.
Sijakata, it's attack, but as like hadi all managers in England who wanna change. Who you as like 90 plus
at the club. Yeah. When we went down to 9 men, I've never seen Liverpool defend that far.
So known as like as like
but they still lost despite defending. One goal.
Nah, the defending was world class. It was just to be a man.
Wala mngeshinda hivyo
it can't be world class if it didn't work.
It was just unlucky, bro. Like, I mean, come on. We saw the game.
Postecoglou is a good manager. He's always faced doubts wherever he's going.
Celtic.
Yeah, but before that he was in Australia. I think it was Brisbane Roar. Went to Japan, went to Celtic, came to Spurs. At some point he was the head coach of Australia. So he's always had doubts, but he's proven them wrong every single time. And this is another time he's proving guys wrong. He's a good manager. I mean, who would have thought Spurs would be challenging for the title after Kane left? I mean, Kane has always been the top scorer each and every single season, but having left, and they didn't sign a good striker. I mean, they have Richarlison, who I think has 1 Premier League goal since joining Spurs. So it just shows that Ange is a good manager. And for me, if I want to know a good manager, I listen to his press conference. And his press conferences are usually super. He's a good guy. He has a good personality. He believes in whatever he says. So even if I'm a player playing under him, I would always believe what he says just because of his personality.
Top 4?
Top 4, shouldn't we talk about top 5? Because
top
5 teams can qualify for the Champions League next
top 5. Lakini wakika Al Nassr si watakata moja ama?
Al
Nassr, it can't happen.
Itaweza walai.
It can't.
They're not in Europe.
It can't.
Itaweza walai.
Wait, Karora anataka kucheza champion arudi
Newcastle.
It can't happen.
So what make top 5? Spurs.
Hard, because you see one thing about Spurs, they have a thin squad. Right now, Maddison and Van der Ven is out till Jan. So they don't have the numbers. But if they continue the way they are playing, I think they can make the top 5. But my top 5: City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and definitely United.
Walai, tuna make top
Manchester,
4.
that order.
Newcastle.
Lazima to make top 4. So as like group tuna qualify group. UEFA.
Hey, it's hard, man. It's
Lakini
hard.
tukichapa Galatasaray na tukaze
The only,
nini?
the only thing that works to our advantage is Bayern have already qualified. So
Yeah.
maybe they'll put a second string, but it's hard. It's hard to qualify. Because we are going to Galatasaray away. And the last time we went there, we lost.
But as like the fact that wame qualify wasi let go of their next match. Waki let go of their next match. We also depend on Bayern. Wakaze next match, na hiyo ingine waachilie tu.
Ule mko desperate. Mnadipendia team.
But wewe una European football.
Wewe,
Wewe hauna hata
really.
kitu ya kuchangia.
Really.
Kuna
Ikifika,
Europa.
the thing
Mic
is,
chini.
nikila European football, I tell up. Nikila European football,
Na
I
anaishinda.
normally tell up.
Lakini
Na
mna
anaishinda.
cook books.
Cheki.
So that has been our time. Thanks for tuning in. The Kickoff K
My bad.
podcast. Tumekuwa
Really
na
to
Imran. Thanks for turning up.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's been a
appreciate
pleasure, man.
Pleasure.
Next time some people come early ndo to shoot vizuri.
Yeah, bring Liverpool fans.
Hawako wengi wazee.
Bro, tuko hapo tuna watch game, si peke yetu tunashangilia saa 3.
Party wanaenda na Uber chap chap.
So yeah, at Casavera Lounge, it has been a good
Yeah,
time.
thanks
Yeah,
to
Gabu.
Casavera Launch for hosting us today. Thank you so much.